welcome back to my channel. Today I am excited because we're going to be getting into a little bit of drugstore makeup. I've been picking up goodies here and there that I've been wanting to try and I just never did. And so I just thought, let me put all these products together and put them in a video. There are a couple items that are drugstore pricing, but they're not from the drugstore. There's an item or two that I've used before here on my channel, but most of it I've never tried and it's brand new and I'm excited to get into it. If you're new around here, welcome. My name is Jackie. I'm so glad that you're here. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video, or as often as you like to be reminded about my videos. My videos are here for whenever you guys want to come back and watch them. And if there's any other drugstore products you think I should try, let me know down below. Alright, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I zoomed you in a little bit closer and we're going to get right into it. The first product we're using is actually a product that I've used before. This is the Infallible Full Wear Concealer by L'Oreal. I don't remember if I tried it out in that drugstore video that never went up, or if this was like a random buy and I did a video on it solo. I honestly don't remember. Regardless, it was a decent concealer, but it was too light for me. So I've been using it as my eye primer. Okay guys, so now moving on to the eyeshadow, we're going to be using this Beauty Glaze color board. This isn't from the drugstore, it's from Amazon, but this is basically, in my opinion, like 4 palettes in one. You have a green story, you have reds, orange, and a little bit of pink, you have blues, and purples and pinks. And so for the price, I feel like it's pretty much drugstore pricing. I have to be honest, I haven't used too many eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore that I'm like, oh my god, I can't live without this. Most of the palettes have a shade or two that are like, oh my god, I love, but to spend $12, $15 or more even now, like in the drugstore, for a palette that I only like a shade or two, I was kind of like, no, we're skipping the eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore. And this one, I believe it was for sure under $20, but I want to say it was $16.88 to be exact. I would have to double check. We all know that Amazon will sometimes change the pricing. But today we're going to go into the orange and red, you know, almost fall kind of vibes. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost to fall. I live in Vegas and we're not going to have major fall vibes, but you know, in my head we just like to go there. So I'm going into these two shades. There isn't shade names, so I'll just be showing you guys here. Honestly, I kind of want to keep it pretty simple. I'm not trying to go too crazy here. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of this little burnt orange shade, and I'm just going to put this here on like the outer corner and then slowly blend it up. Okay, so now that I have that in the outer corner, we're gonna go into a little bit of this champagne-y shade, and I'm just gonna take it with my finger and we're gonna apply this from the inner corner and slightly blend out. Okay, so now that we have the eye look completed, we are going to move on to the face. So we're going to use the Milani Prime Shield. I've had this primer and I opened it up, but I honestly don't remember if I've actually used it here before. I can already tell you that even though it's a mattifying primer, it's not going to keep me matte. So I will go in with a little bit of my Makeup Forever. Sorry you guys if you feel like that's cheating, but I already know, you know what I mean? Okay guys, so I let that primer set. I just put my step 1 on my nose, I promise. I didn't rub it anywhere else. As you can see though, that Milani primer is super soft, super blurring, and if you don't have oily skin, this could work amazing for you. It does leave the skin like soft to the touch, which I like. So moving on to foundation, this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Desert Beige, and I'm really excited to get into it. So to apply this today, I've also had these honestly, I don't even know how many months now, but this is the Full Beat blending sponge kit. You have different sponges for different things or for whatever your liking is. Now together, obviously it's not going to be a drugstore price, but they do sell these individually. I hope they still sell them individually. I'll pop it on the screen. But you have a silicone sponge, a complexion sponge, an hourglass sponge, a detail sponge, and the velvet sponge. So you have a little bit of everything depending on your liking or your mood. So I do want to try one of these out today. So I went ahead and I wet my sponge, and it did double in size. I'm going to go in with the complexion sponge, and in the back of the box they do tell you a little bit of information. So this just says complexion blending sponge, a reusable blending sponge that effortlessly blends makeup into skin for flawless application. Okay. I thought this was gonna be a little bit more detail. I guess not. We're just gonna go in here. I forgot if this is a pump or not. No, it's a little doe foot. Okay. I think I'm just going to apply like that. I feel like maybe that was a little much. And then I think I'm just gonna go with the bottom of the sponge and start blending out. Okay, so I think I did get my right foundation shade, but definitely think I need a little more here. Okay guys, so I blended this side with the complexion sponge, but I felt like I had to kind of go back in and like add a little more foundation, add a little more foundation. From far away, I'm sure it might look fully covered, but there's a couple little areas that I feel like it's kind of like a medium coverage, and I remember this being pretty medium to full coverage, but I don't know, just like a little more coverage without having to use so much. Like I feel like I had to go back and tap so much just to get this coverage, which is beautiful coverage. Like I still love the foundation. I don't know, for whatever reason, I felt like I had to go back in there a lot. So I just want to see if it's the sponge sucking up a lot or if it's the foundation itself. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Los Angeles L11, and I actually have fallen even more in love with this brush. Okay guys, definitely think I had to go back in a lot less with the brush than I did with the sponge. Moving on to concealer, I've always wanted to try this concealer because Tati always uses this concealer and I totally trust her. So this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer, and yeah, I don't know, I've always seen her use it and I'm like, oh, I need to pick it up, I need to pick it up. Okay, so I got it all open. I did forget to mention I got the shade Medium 130. I hope this is my shade. I believe you just twist. I'm like scared to twist too much. You guys, I hope I didn't get a broken one. I've been sitting here twisting. Okay, so I applied some. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with the sponge that I was using. Okay, so I have the concealer completely on. I never really do this. I always usually set one eye and then move on to the next one. I can't stop looking at myself in the mirror. I do like it. I will say though, for this to be a medium shade, I feel like it is kind of light. Like if you don't like that brightness under the eye, I don't know if you'll love this. Again, maybe I grabbed the wrong shade, but it says medium and I feel like in the tube it looks like a shade that would work from a different concealer, so I don't know. I don't mind the brightness, honestly. I'm just saying for those of you that don't love the brightness. So now I'm gonna go with my Airspun translucent powder. This is Airspun. It's just this little container that I got from Amazon because my Airspun container broke. I have to be honest, this is probably the only translucent powder that I actually love from the drugstore. I feel like a lot of translucent powders, I don't know, they could easily kind of look cakey and have a lot of flashback and stuff, and I feel like Airspun just never fails me. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I set that all up. I am nice and bright under the eyes. So moving on to setting the rest of my face, I'm going to try this Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Pressed Powder. I went with the shade 320 Natural Tan. I'm just going to use this with a big fluffy brush, and whew, a lot came out. Oh, I was not expecting all that dust. Okay, I'm going to go in here very lightly, you guys. You guys know that I use my L'Oreal True Match if you've been watching me for a while, and I love the way that sets my makeup. I feel like, yes, it does have obviously coverage, but because I go in so lightly, it's just like a setting powder that leaves me smooth. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I put that on, and you guys, I'm actually surprised. Like, I don't know, I don't really try out a lot of drugstore makeup. If I'm being honest, I feel like the stuff that I do use and love is like a miracle to me, because I feel like anytime that I'm like, ooh, I want to, you know, pick something up, it never really works for me. I don't know why. But this, it's like nice and smooth. It's kind of blurifying. I like it. It's very lightweight. Very breathable. Love it. Okay, so for blush, I actually have 3 options. I have some of these from that video that I made that never went up, and so I don't even remember how they work, to be honest. But I picked up this e.l.f. blush palette, and I thought I had like some pretty cute colors. This is in the dark, I don't know, shades. And then I picked up this Wet n Wild Pearlescent pink blush. It is so pretty, and it has like a little bit of pearl, but nothing super dramatic. And then I also picked up this big e.l.f. one, and this is Always Fiery, and I think I'm gonna go in with Always Fiery, and I think I'm gonna do the Wet n Wild and the Always Fiery. You guys, I can never just put on one blush. Oh, I feel like this might be pigmented. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Oh, I like that. Before I go in with that pearlescent pink from Wet n Wild, I'm gonna go into this Wet n Wild bronzer. This one is in the shade Sunset Striptease. Ooh. Okay. I will say, I don't know if that's gonna do a whole bunch. We shall see. I'm just gonna take my Animat Cosmetics bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna load up my brush, and there's a little something, but it's like really soft. Okay guys, I don't know if that really did a lot. I feel like it's very, very, very subtle, which if you like that, awesome, but I would just skip the bronzer personally, honestly. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the blush. The reason that I kind of did it this way is because I was actually going to bronze first and I forgot. But I just got a little bit of this Wet n Wild blush, and ooh, that's actually pretty pigmented. I like it. Moving on, we are going to go into the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and I've also had this for a long time, and I don't know if I've actually ever used it. I just took off the clear package, I remember that, but I don't remember actually using it. So maybe I have, maybe I haven't. So I'm just going to go ahead and spritz. Okay, so I feel like it set my makeup pretty nicely. Like, doesn't look any different than my ColourPop one that I absolutely love, but I will say the little thing is not as fine as I would like it, but it feels good, very refreshing, and it has like a nice little smell. I don't know if that's like florally, but it smells good and it just lasts for a little bit and it goes away, which I appreciate because I get headaches very easily. I just realized we forgot something. We forgot highlight. I have this Milani Sun Glow Strobelight highlight, and I've actually don't think I've ever tried any of the highlights. Not that I can remember anyway. I'm just gonna take my big fan brush and I'm just gonna go in here. Okay guys, this highlight, yes, look at that glow. It's just like a subtle but very buildable to intense highlight. I feel like this is like one of those perfect wedding highlights. Like, am I crazy? It melts onto the skin. It looks so good and it doesn't exaggerate your texture, which we all appreciate. Up next, I have this Essence Make Me Brow. I think I may have used this in a video by accident. And by accident, I mean because I had bought it to make a drugstore video. But it's open. You guys, a lot of this stuff is open and I don't even know how it got open. But a lot of product comes out on the spoolie and that always makes me nervous. But I just rubbed off most of it. And now I'm coming in here and applying. I'm gonna grab my actual spoolie just to help this out a little bit because I feel like there's still a ton of product on the little wand. Like, you guys, so much comes out. I have to like really clean it off. Okay, this brow gel, like, it's okay, it gets the job done. But with all that product, I'm like scared to like actually go in there and like apply the product. I just don't want to get it everywhere. Oh my god. I'm gonna do a quick little set for the highlight because I forgot to set it. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and I popped on just a little bit of that burnt orange on the bottom waterline, popped a little bit of inner corner highlight with that Milani highlight that I love so much. But we're going to be moving on to mascara. I picked up this Maybelline Snapscara, and it is supposed to be a smooth, clump-free, voluminous formula, and so we shall see. I'm going to kind of go ahead and speed through this because applying mascara is very repetitive and it takes me forever. But I mean, yeah, you guys could see how I'm applying it at least a little bit, and then we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, you guys, so I zoomed you in just a little bit so you can see what the mascara is looking like a little before and after. I do have long lashes. They're just not full, and I wish they were, but they're not. So this looks pretty average for me, like with my Maybelline Lash Stiletto Mascara. I feel like I could have even built it up just a little bit more. I like it so far. I would have to keep using it to know for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little before and after. Okay, I'm gonna apply these ones and I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so the mascara's on, everything's dried down. I cleaned up the little mascara that I had here and there. But moving on to the lips, I picked up this NYX matte lip pencil. I have tried the lip pencils before, but honestly, I believe I got like a shade that I didn't like and I've never used it since. So I'm hoping I like the shade and I'm hoping it matches with the next lip product. This one is a NYX Powder Puff Lippy, and it is in the shade Cool Intentions. Intentions Cool? What? That's what it says. I don't know. I got it in this shade. So let me go ahead and apply this lip liner. Okay, so I got that lip liner on, and so far I like the shade of the lip liner. I went ahead and did a little contour situation. So this does come like with a little puff here, and I'm assuming you just kind of squeeze and push. Okay, so the color looks promising. It actually reminds me of Colored Rain Bachelorette a little bit. Okay, you guys, so I got that lip product on, and tell me why it's like a literal dupe for the Fearless shade from Rare Beauty. If you haven't seen my review on this, please check it out. I absolutely was surprised. Just, you need to check it out. Anyway, this is like a dupe for this. Like, I wasn't even trying to find a dupe, honestly. And I've seen these NYX little puff things, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't ever have luck picking these up. I feel like shades always look more pink or too dark or too bright on me. But this is the Fearless from Rare Beauty. It looks more matte on the lip. If you go watch that video, you will see at the end I actually apply the shade on my lips, and it looks like this, like matted down, but like, I don't know, it feels amazing. But it's very similar. Very similar. Oh, I love this. As for the rest of the products, you guys, I pretty much loved everything. The foundation I already knew that I loved because I've already tried it, but having it on my shade, in my shade, I love it even more. Like, yes. The blush is amazing. The highlight, oh my gosh, if you're gonna get married, going to, I don't know, an event or something, you need this highlight. I mean, COVID, but you know what I mean. If you happen to go somewhere, get this highlight. Absolutely amazing. I was honestly surprised the most by the concealer and the Fit Me powder. I've seen a lot of people use this. I just never went for it. I feel like when somebody else loves a powder and then I try it out, it's usually super chalky and like cakey looking and just like dry looking, and I don't like it. And I have like combination, like super oily in the center of my nose type of skin. So yeah, I usually don't go out and try a bunch of different powders. Super love that. The concealer, if you don't like the brightening and lifting under the eye, then you're probably not going to like this concealer, because I do really feel like this is the shade that would be for me. I mean, it's like a medium shade. I don't know how much darker I would need to go. I don't mind the brightness. I will definitely see if I pick up like a shade or two darker and see how that looks. But I love this. I would use this again as concealer. I think it looks good. Again, nice and bright and youthful. Love it. As for the mascara, it reminds me of my Maybelline Lash Stilettos mascara. I actually like it. Don't hate it. I struggle to find mascaras that I like, because usually, like, instead of my lashes kind of like flowing out and looking long, they usually tend to like stick together when I try different mascaras, and I don't really like that. So that's pretty much why I stay to one mascara. The ColourPop sponge, it feels really good on the skin. When you're applying, it applies super fast because this is pretty wide on the bottom once you wet it. I feel like maybe I wasn't supposed to wring it out so much. I feel like I did it like I would any of my other sponges that I use, but maybe it's supposed to be a little bit more wet, because I do feel like it sucked up quite a bit of product, but it feels really good and it did blend it out nicely. But yeah, guys, I think that is everything worth mentioning. I'll have to keep trying this out, and also the bronzer, I forgot about that. I feel like if you're light or lighter than me, it could work for you, but I feel like it was super, super, super light. Like, to the point where I probably just wouldn't use bronzer for the day if that was the only bronzer I had. But yeah, guys, I think that is everything. If you want to see what this makeup would look like worn throughout the day, check out my next video. I'm going to be trying out 2 products over in my next video. And so this makeup will be staying on for at least another 8 hours or so. But anyway, if you want to see it, check that video out. It should be coming at the end of this week. I'm not sure when I'm uploading this. At the end of the week, it should be the next video after this. Anyway, you guys, let me know what your favorite drugstore product is down below. Maybe I'll pick some of this stuff up and try it here on my channel. This kind of made me a little bit more exciting. I usually shy away from drugstore products. Not a lot. I have in my normal routine quite a bit of drugstore, but trying out new things, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm too traumatized, you guys. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you like this little simple look, and I will see you guys in my next one. Adios!